Ladies and gentlemen, in this episode, you are going to hear opinions, and while the podcast is endorsed by Uriah Heep, the opinions of the host and various guests do not necessarily represent the opinions of the band or any of the members past or present. With that being said, let's celebrate the music of Uriah Heep. Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Hello and welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host, Scott Haskin, and we are working on the album Fallen Angel. And this song today that we are covering is Falling in Love. What's more beautiful than that? Probably nothing. I mean, there's things that are nice and beautiful, like sunsets, especially over the ocean. Beautiful botanical garden. But love's a whole nother thing, and we're going to get into that right now from the album Fallen Angel by Uriah Heep. Here is Falling in Love from 1978. What a great build for an intro, starting with the muted picking or more muted picking and then just opening it up slowly throughout that passage. Very well done. Great intro to what I'm sure will probably be the vocals next from Lee Kerslake. Just a nice transition there. Great start. It definitely has a commercial playability to it. I think the mix is really good. I think the snare sounds a little bit better than it did in Woman of the Night, but overall a little bit repetitive, but I definitely think that there is something cool going on in the song. It's got a good driving beat. The vocals are fantastic. The backups are fantastic. It's got a really good groove to it. Definitely a song that I would say yes to. I mean, the only drawback for me is just a little bit of repetitiveness already. And you're talking about a song that's like less than 3 minutes. I really like that change there. That difference in the 4 lines was really nice. It was a good way to break it up a little bit. And I was kind of expecting it to go into a solo, but maybe we'll get that after the repeated chorus here. But great work. I love the changes. I love the fact that there are some subtle accents in the guitar playing. And not every note is picked equally. There are some that have just a little bit more accent to them, but they're on an even beat. So it seems like it's intentional. Very well played, guys. Well, I like that they repeated that part, but I kind of feel like it's lacking a solo here. You know, when you have a good rockin' song like this, it's good to have a good rock and roll guitar solo to go with it. And even though Uriah Heep has proved that you can perform a song perfectly well without a guitar solo, I think this kind of needed it. Maybe instead of so many repetitive choruses, you could have thrown in a solo. That might have been nice, but you know, I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I don't know what was going on with the writing at that time. For whatever reason, we haven't heard one yet, and we are at 2 minutes and 8 seconds of a 2 minute and 53 minute song. So, or 2 minute and 43 second song. Time. Anyway, it would have been expected. So it feels kind of odd. It feels like it's missing that a little bit, but I really like the song overall. Well, and I have to remind myself too that, you know, right now I'm listening to this in 2021. This was recorded in September of 1978, or released in September of 78, I should say. So it was a different time in music. I've said that too. During the Lawton era, we had disco, we had punk, we had rock kind of taking a back seat for a while to some of these things. And so it was a completely different time. A lot of rock bands were starting to cross over more into almost like a commercial pop setting and getting, you know, a little bit more radio play there. So again, I don't know what the intention was behind the song, but I would say if I were producing it, I probably would have cut back a little bit of the repetitive chorus, put in a solo somewhere, just changed it around a little bit, but overall the song is good. And I really enjoyed it. You know, you can't go wrong when you've got Uriah Heep singing the kind of backups that they do. It just makes for such a delight in a song. But yeah, another good song, another great album track from Uriah Heep. So that will do it for today's episode, guys. We will see you tomorrow for our final show of the week as we dig into another song that has two versions. Have a great day, guys. Cheers. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show. And thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!